Welcome to Standard Voice News Channel. I am Samira Ibrahim. Here are your top stories for today. Universal Basic Education Board commends Zamfara State. President Muhammadu Buhari has been asked to resign or be impeached over insecurity in northern Nigeria. The 43 killed rice farmers have been left to rest. On business, Egypt to invest in gold mining in Nigeria. On sport, Messi salutes Maradona as Barca trounced Osasuna. And on the international scene, Trump supporter who gave $2.5 million to fight election fraud wants money back. Now the news in details. Zamfara State Primary Education Board has been rated the best in terms of accessing and utilization of Universal Basic Education Board counterpart funding of the Commission. The former Minister of State for Education, Professor Jerry Agada, made the commendation at the ceremony which took place at the Federal Ministry of Education in Abuja. He commended the effort of the state government for giving all the necessary support to the primary board, which make it possible to access 2018 to 2020 UBE intervention funds. Professor Agada also challenged the board chairman to put more effort in improving the standard of basic education in the state. For more details on the story, over and to our correspondent, Rahama Ibrahim Dusara.
Mr. Jerry Agada, who is also the Chairman National Advisory Committee, presented the Chairman of the Board, Alhaji Abubakar Aliyu Maradun, with the award of the Northwest Geopolitical Zone Diamond Award. He said the Executive Chairman qualified for the award because of his outstanding performance that transformed basic education. Receiving the award on behalf of the Executive Chairman, the permanent member of the Board, Alhaji Abubakar Abdullahi, promised to do more in the area of enrollment, retention, and quality basic education across the state. That has been the report. Rahma Ibrahim Dusa reporting for Standard Voice Television News.
The Zamfara State First Lady, Hajia Aisha Bello Matawalli, has embarked on a campaign against gender-based violence in boys' secondary schools across the state. This was contained in a statement by the Special Advisor, Office of the First Lady, Hajia Fatima Musa Muhammad, which said the action was in continuation with the 16 days of activism campaign against gender-based violence in Zamfara State. Hajia Aisha, while speaking at the interactive session with students at Government Boys' Day Secondary School in Ture, urged youth in the state to be change agents of change in the fight to protect women and girls. For more details on this story, over and on to our correspondent, Musa Joy.
The First Lady noted that the campaign became necessary considering that most of the perpetrators of gender-based violence are men and young boys. She called on the young boys to be advocates of ending gender-based violence so as to ensure that the society is violence-free. In his address, the State Commissioner of Education, Dr. Ibrahim Abdullahi, reiterated his ministry's commitment to support gender-based violence. He noted that the boys are actively involved in the campaign because involving them will complement the First Lady's effort in ending violence against women and girls. Hence, the need for them to know what gender-based violence is all about, how to prevent and respond. The head of Physics Department, Federal University, Gusau, Dr. Lawal Saad, charged students on Islamic injunction regarding the treatment of women and their status in the society. He said that men, as protectors of women, are expected to treat them with kindness, not harshness. At the event, students gave their comment, asked questions, and promised to support the 16 days gender-based violence campaign organized by the First Lady, Musa Joy Onyoza, Svtv News, Gusau.
The Kano State Police Command has received a complaint from one Alhaji Kabir of Kwanar Gwarmai, Kwanar Dangora Town, Bebeji local government area of the state, that his son Tijani Kabiru, 16 years old, was kidnapped and a ransom of 1.3 million naira as well as 20,000 naira MTN recharge card was demanded as ransom. On receipt of the complaint, the State Commissioner of Police CP Habu Sani immediately raised and directed a team of Operation Pop Ada led by CSP Abdul Karim Abdullahi to arrest the culprits. The Pop Ada team swung into action and arrested one Anas Sa'idu, 23 years old, of Konar Gwarmai village, Bebeji local government area of Kano, on the 23rd of this month, 2 weeks after the kidnapped incident.
I kidnapped the boy for ransom. When I realized that I have nowhere to hide him, I killed him and buried his body at the farm. I've never done this before. It is not my job. I'm appealing to the Kano state government to publicly execute me. I should be hung until I die. I'm also appealing to the parents of the boy to forgive me. We received a report from one Alhaji Kabiru on the 9th of November 2020 that his son has been kidnapped and that he must pay the sum of 1,300,000 naira ransom and an MTN credit card worth 20,000 before he could be released. On receiving the report, the State Commissioner of Police ordered a team under Operation Puff Ada, who immediately swung into action. 2 weeks later, they succeeded in apprehending this young man, who confessed to kidnapping the boy on the 9th of November 2020, after which he killed the boy and buried the body in this bush.
For more details on this story, Peter Phillips report.
Kano State Police Command also arrested one Mohammed Ahmed of Kabuga Quarters, Kano, who was earlier arrested for theft with the aid of his tricycle and was charged to court but summarily tried. He was rearrested after 5 complaints reported that he stole their properties of foodstuffs and clothing materials by driving away the goods in his tricycle. Those he ran away with their goods are Zubaida Naziru, Saida Salisu, Zainab Abdul Malik, Sadia Khalid and Jummai Abubakar. On further investigation, the suspect was found in possession of 50,000 naira counterfeit notes of 1,000 naira denominations. An investigation also led to the recovery of stolen tricycle with registration number KMC 2532 from the suspect. The suspect was arrested together with his accomplices. Peter Phillips, SVTV News, Gusau.
An activist, Deji Adeyanju, has called for the resignation or impeachment of President Muhammadu Buhari over the rampant cases of insecurity in northern Nigeria. Mr. Adeyanju, a co-convener of Concerned Nigerians Group, said the spate of kidnapping, wanton attacks and destruction of lives and property of innocent citizens in the region, particularly the rampant cases of kidnapping on Kaduna-Abuja Road, were enough reasons for the president to resign or be impeached. Mr. Adeyanju made the call while alleging that over 100 people were abducted along the Kaduna-Abuja Road. For more details on this story, Beauty Abdul Malik reports.
Meanwhile, 6 people were killed on Sunday in Ogwambido, village of Jema local government area of Kaduna State. 4 others were injured, while 2 children were declared missing following an attack on the community by unknown men. The houses of 4 other people were burnt by the attackers. This was after the killing of a herder in neighboring Ogwanpa of same Jama local government on Saturday. Still on insecurity, a former governor of Cross River State, Donald Duke, has alleged that most weapons used by Boko Haram terrorists are obtained from security operatives. Mr. Duke said this even as he called on the federal government to investigate the security forces and flush out the bad eggs. Beauty Abdul Malik reporting for SVTV.
The All Progressives Congress (APC) has said it is holding the party's National Executive Committee meeting on December 8, 2020. The emergency meeting is to look into the party's crisis with a view to resolving it. The Deputy National Publicity Secretary of the party, Yekini Nabena, stated this on Saturday in a statement issued to newsmen in Abuja. Mr. Yekini said a formal invitation to this direction has already been sent to the APC NEC members by the National Secretary of the party's caretaker and Extraordinary Convention Planning Committee, Senator John James. According to the statement, the meeting will review the party's position and set agenda for the party's next move. Report from Maiduguri, the capital of northeastern state of Borno, said Governor Babagana Umar Zulum on Sunday led horrified Zabarmari kinsmen to bury 43 farmers killed by Boko Haram. The victims, who lived in the farming community in Jere local government area, which is famous in rice cultivation and local processing, were attacked on Saturday at Koshobe village, a place in Mafa local government area of the state. The report, however, said more reports of conflicting figures of the death toll are being released from various organizations, including the United Nations and the BBC. From Maiduguri, Muhammad Damboa sent in this report, which is read from our studio by Shehu Magaji.
The governor of Borno State, Professor Babagana Umara Zulum, was at Zabarmari early morning on Sunday to lead kinsmen and the other residents, still in shock, for the funeral of the 43 rice farmers slaughtered by the Boko Haram insurgents. Governor Zulum, who addressed the bereaved community, said the families of the deceased to accept his deepest sympathy over this carnage, as well pray for the repose of the souls of the departed. He therefore appealed to the federal government to ensure recruitment of more youth into the civilian joint task force and hunters into the Nigerian military and the civil defense, so that they can perform part of the agro rangers that will protect farmers. Meanwhile, the Nigerian Army counter-insurgency authorities have removed the officer commanding troops stationed in the Zabarmari area of Jere local government area of Borno State. Troops of 195 Battalion are stationed at the Strong Response area Zabarmari, a component of Super Camp in charge of that axis. The new commander is expected to conduct a search operation for the remaining victims of Boko Haram's attack on a rice farm on Saturday. In a related development, the United Nations UN said at least 110 people were killed, raising tolls from the initial 43. Several women are believed to have been kidnapped. According to the UN's humanitarian coordinator in Nigeria, Edward Callon, armed men on motorcycles led a brutal attack on civilian men and the women who were harvesting their fields. The incident is the most violent direct attack against innocent civilians this year. The attackers tied and slaughtered their victims and also burnt the farm they were cultivating. The killings have led to a public outcry, with many people calling on the government to intensify efforts to protect civilians. Expressing grief over the massacre, President Muhammadu Buhari said on Saturday that the federal government had given all the needed support to the armed forces to take all the necessary steps to protect the country's populations and its territory. Also reacting to the incident, the Speaker, House of Representatives, Mr. Femi, has condemned in the strongest terms the killing of the rice farmers in the Zabarmari, Borno State by the Boko Haram insurgents. Mr. Bajami Abila, who expressed sadness over the killings of the innocent rice farmers, said the incident has once again brought to the fore the need for more military actions against the terrorists. He said it was unfortunate that at a time the country was focusing on self-sufficiency in rice farming, about 50 of the farmers were killed in a most gruesome manner. In his sympathy, Governor Aminu Waziri Tambola of Sokoto State mourned the victims of the Boko Haram massacre in Borno State. Tambola said himself, family, government and the people of Sokoto State were deeply concerned and worried that an unspecified number of enterprising citizens who had traveled hundreds of kilometers to seek their means of livelihood in the areas where the attacks took place were slaughtered by insurgents. Also reacting to the incident, the chairman of NUJ Borno State, Comrade Bala Matalba, on behalf of all the working journalists, expressed the bitterness of the citizenry over a resurgence of the attacks, which has increased recently on communities and taken Borno State back to the dark days of the reign of terror unleashed by the insurgents. That has been the report. Shehu Magaji reporting for SBTV News.
Let me quickly take you to our business desk for the business update.
Welcome to Business Desk. The federal government has signed an expression of interest agreement with leading Luxembourg Incorporated private gold development and mining company in Cairo, Egypt. The agreement signed between the Ministry of Mines and Steel Development and the company Mr. Lamoncha Incorporated is for the investment in gold mining in Nigeria. Minister of State, Mines and Steel Development Uchechukwu Oga stated that with the signing of the expression of interest by Lamoncha, effort to attract big investors into the sector have started yielding the desired result. He added this will boost the diversification of the economy through the minerals and metals sector. Director of Press for the Ministry, Ed Thomas, in his statement, said Nigeria, as the largest economy in Africa and with its vast and mostly untapped solid mineral resources, has the potential for industrialization through the mineral sector. Still on business news, the presidency said it will deliver 5 million solar systems to 25 million Nigerians previously not connected to the national grid through solar home system under the Economic Sustainability Plan. Mr. Laolu Akande, Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Publicity, Office of the Vice President, disclosed this on Sunday in Abuja. He said that the solar system would be provided at 4,000 naira monthly over a 3-year period. Mr. Akande was responding to inquiries about the cost of the ESP solar program tagged Solar Power Naija, for which installations will start in December. The media aide said the program was designed to boost ongoing effort to fix Nigeria's energy supply challenge. The solar home system scheduled for inauguration by the federal government this week. And that's all on Standard Voice Business Update. I am Musa Joy Onyoza.
Thank you, Musa Joy. On spot, over to Sumaya Dusara.
Hello, I'm Sumaya Dusara and welcome to Spot Text. Lionel Messi paid a personal tribute to the late Diego Maradona after scoring as Barcelona returned to winning ways in La Liga with a resounding 4-0 win over Osasuna. Messi adored a brilliant team display with a trumping strike into the top corner in the second half after Martin Braithwaite had broken the deadlock and Antoine Griezmann and Philippe Coutinho, who had scored earlier side of halftime. The Argentine then lifted his shirt and revealed a red and black replicate kit of his hometown club, Newell's Old Boys, bearing the number 10, which Maradona wore during his brief spell at the Rosario side in 1993. The Catalans had paid homage before kick-off to Maradona, who played for the club in an eventful yet disappointing spell from 1982 to 1984, hanging a frame-signed shirt of his above the presidential box while the players held a minute's silence in front of an old Barca shirt bearing the number 10. And that's all on spot. Back to the newsroom.
And on the international scene, a Donald Trump supporter who donated $2.5 million to help expose and prosecute claims of fraud in the presidential election wants his money back after what he says are disappointing results. Frederick Elsman, a businessman from North Carolina, said he gave the money to True the Vote, a pro-Trump election ethics group in Texas that promised to file lawsuits in 7 swing states as part of its push to investigate, litigate, and expose suspected illegal balloting and fraud in the 2020 general election. But according to a lawsuit Frederick filed this week in Houston, first reported by Bloomberg, True and Vote dropped its legal action and discontinued its Validate the Vote 2020 campaign, then refused to return his calls when he demanded an explanation. The founder of Elsman Venture, LLC, a venture capital company, said he asked regularly and repeatedly for updates, the lawsuit asserts, but his requests were consistently met with vague responses, platitudes, and empty promises. The lack of success of True the Vote's efforts to challenge the outcome appears to mirror that of the president himself, whose team has lost 38 count actions since the 3rd November election, most recently in Pennsylvania, where the Federal Appeals Court panel blasted Trump's legal team for filing a case with no merit. True, the vote did not immediately return an email from The Guardian seeking comments, but posted a statement on its website attributed to the group's founder and president, Kathleen Angel Brent, seeking to blame outside forces for the failure of its efforts. That has been the news from Standard Voice Television. To end the news, a quick look at the major headlines. Universal Basic Education Board commends Zamfara State. President Muhammadu Buhari has been asked to resign or be impeached over insecurity in northern Nigeria. The 43 killed rice farmers have been left to rest. On business, Egypt to invest in gold mining in Nigeria. On sport, Messi salutes Maradona as Barca trounced Osasuna. And on the international scene, Trump supporter who gave $2.5 million to fight election fraud wants money back. That's the news. On behalf of the production crew, Head of News and Current Affairs Department, Ibrahim Garbatunau, I am Samira Ibrahim, wishing you a pleasant day. Keep watching Standard Voice Television News. Goodbye.